Yeah, I see you. Community preservation, how may I help you?
I will coordinate with
Sir, I can see your name. Can you mute over there, Kathy?
Yes.
Ken and Tim are muted.
It's working.
It is 10 o'clock and this is the Community Preservation Committee meeting. As a preliminary matter, this is Ken Bogrand, Chair, and permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated in the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Maria Zoda.
Here.
Joe Topham.
Here.
Linda Williams.
Yep.
Tim Savarino.
Here.
Diane Combs.
Here.
John Trudell.
Here.
Dawn Hill Holgate.
She's in Wisconsin.
Okay. And Jack Gardner, I don't believe is going to be able to come today. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. We do have a quorum, and staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Glenna Stokes Scarlett.
Here.
Kathy Richin.
Here.
Thank you. I don't see or have on the agenda any anticipated speakers. Good morning. This open meeting of the Community Preservation Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public meetings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirements of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, so long as reasonable public access is afforded to the public and follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. At this meeting, the Community Preservation Committee is convening by video conference via Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public might join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of the body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Meeting business ground rules. Turning to the first item of the agenda, but before we do, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, the chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comments or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with others, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourselves. After members have spoken, public comment to those members who have joined the meeting. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged or speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken at this meeting will be conducted by roll call. I will then turn to the first item on the agenda, and that is the approval of the agenda. I would like to indicate that there was a revised agenda sent out this morning. There are 2 additional items which were put on with respect to fund requisitions. Item F, Maria Mitchell for $3,815.42 from fiscal year 05, and the Nantucket Interfaith for $9,751.92 for fiscal year 21. Neither of those could have been anticipated at the time that the meeting was called and posted, and so I am asking for your approval to include those as the agenda items that is on the agenda for approval. With those amendments, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a
moved?
A move by Linda, seconded?
Second.
By Maria. All those by voice call. Maria?
Aye.
Joe Topham?
Aye.
Linda Williams?
Aye.
Tim Savarino?
Aye.
Diane Coombs?
She's muted.
John Trudell?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
I do.
The next item on the agenda are the approval of the minutes of February 16th, which were circulated. If there are no amendments or corrections to the minutes, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Linda, seconded by Maria. All those in approval by voice vote. Maria Zota.
Aye.
Joe Topham.
Aye.
Linda Williams.
Aye.
Tim Savarino.
Aye.
Diane Coombs.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. There is no correspondence and there are no guests. The next item on the agenda are the fund requisitions. There are items under Roman numeral 1, items A through G as approved on the amended agenda. If there are no questions with respect to those, I would entertain a motion for those approval.
Mr. Chair.
Moved.
Mr. Chair. For the record, I think I stated in the past, I am a member of the Platform Tennis Association, and the membership really just entitles me to play on the courts. I don't have any financial interest, but I'm happy to recuse if that's the wishes of the chairperson.
I don't think it's necessary to recuse.
Okay, thank you.
Are any other comments with respect to that?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Linda, seconded
Second.
by Joe. All those in favor by roll call. John Trudell.
Aye.
Diane Coombs.
Aye.
Tim Savarino.
Aye.
Linda Williams.
Aye.
Joe Topham.
Aye.
Maria Zota.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Next item is the items under old business. There was a request to have the committee take a look at the approved budget for the fiscal year that ends on June 30th and the year-to-date report. That was transmitted to everyone. Are there any comments or questions with respect to that? This item will be closed by June 30th, and a new budget will be coming forward for proposal for fiscal year for the next fiscal year starting July 1st.
I do have a question, Mr. Chairman. Have we met with the FinCom yet?
With respect to our articles, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how did that go?
They will be approving the articles that we recommended. There was two small mathematical errors totaling $660 that Brian Turbot is correcting, and we'll fix those into the final motion that the FinCon recommends to town meeting.
Great, thank you for that.
Glenna, and just a question. So the budget was in all those other pieces that we got?
Can you speak a little louder, or?
Was the budget in all the other documents we received in the last minutes? I mean, the last time you sent us an email, I just didn't see it.
Glenna, could you comment? Because the budget and the year-to-date report were sent separately. There were 3 separate mailings from Glenna that dealt with each of the articles that are under old business.
Okay, I'll just go back and pull them out.
If you didn't receive it, Maria, just let me know and I can resend it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next 2 articles items are connected. Maria raised a personnel issue, which was indicated in the material that was sent to you, and I then met with Amanda Perry, the Human Resources Director, and in your materials, there was the response to that. I then had subsequently met with Glenna. She had a couple of questions with respect to that. And so I am in the process of arranging a meeting with Glenna, myself, and Amanda to address the concerns and questions that Glenna had resolved. So I'll be happy to answer any questions with respect to those 2 items that were on the agenda, as well as the significant amount of material that I asked Glenna to include with the material going out relative to the questions that were raised. Maria?
Just a question, because when I was working on just correlating some information, I was working with the personnel policy from 2013. And then Ken sent us, it looks like a letter that revised that in 2015. And I was just wondering if we did in fact get that letter that came from Steve Terzikitz, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, or if somehow that didn't get sent to CPC for whatever reason.
Well, the answer to that question is that I don't know, and that's one of the issues that Glenna has raised, and that Glenna and I will be dealing with Amanda to get clarification as to what was received and what the concerns are that Glenna has raised. And she and I will be working together to be able to make sure we get the appropriate resolution on behalf of our staff.
Okay, and I just think that it's important for us, because it looks like as a committee, we did in 2013 said we were going to abide by the town's policies for our staff, which is fine. But if we don't get the information from the town, then we can't, fix what we're supposed to fix. And
your point is well taken.
Yeah, I think we're unique because now that we've had an employee that's been here for 10 years, and we appreciate her knowledge and her longevity, and we just want to make sure that we're fair and give her what's reasonable within the guidelines of what the town has. So I thank you, Ken, for sitting down with Glenna and going over that. That was my only concern, and that cost of living seems like a fairly reasonable thing to do for your employees, given the.
Well, the thing was that Glenn and I met for about an hour. We had a very, very thorough and positive discussion. I've asked her to make clear with respect to the concerns, getting to me in writing, and then she and I will be getting together with Amanda to address all of those. So. Very
good, thank you.
Are there any other questions with respect to old business? There is one other item that should have been on old business, but it is not really critical. What we did was, Glenna did a terrific job in terms of repackaging the form of sign that we wanted to have on all properties. And Kathy, if you can get Glenna to come back on, I know that she was going to stay off for this discussion with respect to the issues relative to her. If she could then screen share, or there you are. Thanks, Glenna. I wanted to have her screen share the sign to have you guys take a look at it and give approval to this, because I've gotten a request from a number of organizations as to the format of the sign and the shape and the size that we want to have it. So can everyone see it?
No.
Are there any concerns with respect to it? And if not, I would entertain a motion to approve this as the sign that we share with the people who have received grants from us, and then follow through with the various project managers to make sure that these signs are put up.
I can't read it. Can you read it aloud?
It says community, it says across the top, Community Preservation Committee with 2 lines across, the CPC all the way up the top in the big letters. Yep. And then it says this project is funded in part by the citizens of Nantucket through a grant from the local Community Preservation Committee.
Great.
Just a practical question. Are we going to be asking them to do wood? You know, is it how should the sign be created, I guess? I know we have one sign company and I use them to do something for Safe Place, but I just was curious.
Well, I think actually the sign should be relative to the condition or the nature of the structure that's in front of. For instance, with respect to the Historical Association, I would think a sign that is appropriate with respect to the quality of the materials of the buildings that are involved. I mean, there's a sign already out on Old South Road for the park. That was put up before we, in fact, had determined the nature of the signing, which triggered in my mind the need to come up with a conformity as to what we would hope the sign to look like, so that as people go around the island, they start to see these signs and see all the things that we've done over the last 20 years.
There is guidance in the sign, as Joe knows, because we both deal with the HDC on a regular basis. There is guidance in the sign advisory document. Below a certain size, they don't need to go to the sign advisory committee or the HDC. Now, Joe would probably remember what size that is. It's small, but and then there's colors and things like that. Now, white and black are not the traditional colors for signs here. Gray background, white lettering, or vice versa, or sort of that weird color, Joe, that cream color thing.
Yeah.
Gray. So there's various ways of doing the sign that have to be, if we're under the sign advisory limitation of size, then we don't have to go to the sign advisory committee or the HDC. But I think we need to be mindful of colors and size and font.
All right, can I then suggest that we appoint a subcommittee consisting of Linda and Joe to come back to us at our next meeting with recommendations as to the issue that Maria raised relative A, the size, and B, the nature of what the sign is made of, and C, anything else that means that we then meet the requirements of the HDC sign bylaw. Joe?
So I'm fine to step up and do that. My one question is, can you get us all the location that this sign would be placed on, whether it's a building or a park? And I think
what Glenna can do is give you a printout of all of the awards that we've made over the last 20 years.
Perfect.
So you're gonna have churches, you're gonna have town buildings, you're gonna have all sorts of stuff. So,
Mr. Chair, with that, with Joe and Linda's acceptance, I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Linda. All those in favor by roll call. Maria.
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Linda.
Aye.
Tim.
Aye.
Diane.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. The next item on the agenda is that
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Before we leave that, could I ask a question?
Sure.
moving forward, once we get, the locations and everything, but moving forward, would we require the sign to be in place before the final disbursement of any project? Would that be how we would kind of enforce that going forward?
Well, moving forward, yes. Yeah. Okay. I mean, obviously, anything that we've paid out all the grants, that's not the case. But that would be a good condition that before the final disbursement is done, the sign is in place and we can review it. And what we should need to do is Glenna, when we look at the application form for requests, make that as a criteria in the application in terms that they agree that they will have a sign in place before the expenditure of the final amount of any grant.
Sure.
Does that meet with what you're talking about, Tim?
Yeah, yes, it does, Mr. Chair. And now the other way, looking backwards, I don't really know how we can go back to organizations. Were you thinking of we would do that, or would we fund the signs and ask them to put them up? What are you thinking looking back?
Well, looking back, I would go back and ask them to be able to provide the signage. And if there are obviously significant financial constraints, then we can take a look at what we need to do, and we would need to vote on it positively ourselves out of our administration budget. Glenna.
Just wanted to point out that is one of the prerequisites in the grant agreements.
Oh, okay.
But I can also add it to the welcome
so the fact
letter
is that
on the town website.
So they already have an obligation to do that. So that would be on there as part of the grant agreement they signed. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, in your material, there was an email that we sent from Stuart that the CPA legislation has been filed on Beacon Hill to, in fact, make some changes. And they asked whether or not each of the various organizations would send a letter endorsing the amendment to the CPA legislation. This looks like it's a very positive change for us if it, in fact, can get in place. And so if the committee is so willing, I would entertain a motion to write a letter in support of the legislation filed with the state on behalf of our Community Preservation Committee.
And what is the change up there?
Linda, it's a change with respect to the allocation of available funds to the CPA in terms of available for distribution.
That's been percolating up there for a while. It's the same one.
Yeah, it's been percolating, but again, there seems to be a more positive reaction to it. In fact, since Boston has in fact become a party to the CPC and begins to understand that it would be really good to have some additional money to be able to come back into the communities.
Great.
So I would entertain a motion to authorize the chair to send a letter in support of the CPA legislation. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Linda makes the motion. Joe has seconded the motion. Questions? If none, all those in favor. John?
Aye.
Diane? Tim?
Aye.
Linda?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Maria?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. I'm not aware of any other business to come before the meeting today. If there is none, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Again, by roll call, Maria?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Linda?
Aye.
Tim?
Aye.
Diane? John?
Aye.
And
Aye.
Chair votes aye. I want to thank all of you for, again, being there and working through. I also want to thank Maria for having raised some issues for us to be aware of. And it's part of what I have always felt was really the positive construction of our committee, in the sense that when there are issues, no one is afraid to raise them, and we're not afraid to take a look at them and address them. So again, thanks to all of you for the time and effort that you put into this initiative. So see you, if not before, a month from now. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody.